Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, I know you've been saying, oh, yeah, he's pretty hyped up about Georgia. Well, to be honest, it's pretty necessary to be hyped up about Georgia. And I did a video on Georgia, I believe Wednesday. It is now Saturday. We're going to be taking a more deep dive because, um, on Wednesday night, we talked about basically that along with the endorsement of Nikki Haley. That did play a lot. But yes, I did say we're going to take a more deep dive and more statistical analysis in the election results in the state of Georgia. So I don't know where the actual uh, Court of Appeals election is. We could search it up, but we know there. We can see there was a contested election. But other if we can't find it, then we have to move on. But yes, what we're looking at is the this guy here, M. Yavite Miller, um, who he sounds pretty familiar, honestly. But yeah, um, yes, he was basically appointed in the 1999 by Democrat Governor Roy Barnes, who was retired, which made the seat open. Um, so apparently he is retiring. Um, so there is this is supposedly a race between a conservative and a liberal in the seats in the said Court of Appeals, who have conservative Jeff Davis. I bet they're going to demonize that name, right? Am I right? And then there is Tapitha Ponder with and and despite, as you know, being an open race, not being like an incumbent, Davis was successful in winning 57% of the popular vote. That is indeed a landslide. You take a look at areas, you'll see, wow, you'll see Davis definitely swept the black belt in rural areas. However, he really struggled in the metro. But despite struggling in the metro, he still managed to win the election. You'll see um he managed to pick up Macon, along with black belt areas. There's also in DeKalb County, apparently the judicial elections is probably the most liberal, but that was Ponder's best performance over here. So very different compared to the Supreme Court race, where Pinson performed very well in the metro areas, but struggled a lot in rural areas like the Black Belt, even in Republican areas in general. This could be because of the issue of abortion, but you know what? That's possible because we know in the rural areas, even in Republican areas, abortion is somewhat of a concern. But in Atlanta metro, abortion, they're like, you know what? We're actually dealing with a lot of problems here, like crime. We need to make sure that, as you know, I'm not saying that Pinson has power to lock up criminals. No, he doesn't. Not at all. But then again, constitutionally, um, there could be some sort of say if, like, to stop bailouts, like constantly bailing out criminals, especially at a certain degree of crime. Is that constitutional or not? So that's kind of the question. So I think that concludes. And yeah, you will also see this is more lighter compared to this map, which is actually more darker. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that this map gets darker in 2024 in the general. That would be great. But yeah, a lot of these counties voted 70%. And then you have other races like Dillard, right here, Stephen Dillard, who won 100% of the popular vote, carrying every county because personally, you would have to carry every county in order to get a million. That's just basic reality. Stephen Dillard, I don't know if he's a Democrat, but he was appointed by Sonny Perdue. He's a Republican, so. Ken Hodges. Who was he appointed by? Okay, I guess we don't really know. I'd say he is more conservative, being in the Republican sort of era when he served and got the job. Well, he assumed office in 2019, so he would have to be picked by Brian Kemp. Benjamin A. Land, also getting a million, along with Ken Hodges. Mercier, Amanda H. Mercier winning re-election. When did she assume office? Okay, yeah, she must have been assumed. Or there could have been an election. I don't know. Once again, there have been a string of Republican governors during, as you know, the 21st century. Brian M. Rickman also winning a million votes. It seems like everyone managed to win every county except for Davis, who's understandably not an incumbent. You don't really expect that. But he performed indeed very well for not being an incumbent. So, yes, you got Rickman, like I said. He is, yeah, he was appointed by Sony. So, I'd say these are definitely all conservatives. Jeffrey A. Watkins, 1 million, 100%. Here's my favorite and probably the most crucial, the Supreme Court race. You have Supreme Court Justice Andrew Pinson. He managed to defeat John Barrow. We remember John Barrow? He was the clown that really thought he could win in 2018. Well, he also ran in some other races also. But looking at his electoral history, he might have just ran in 2018. But yes, definitely. This guy ran in 2018 and he did really well despite losing for Secretary of State. I can show you again. Right? Looks like our normal map. Runoff results. It was just Brad Raffensperger managed to win areas right over here, managed to win the black belt. I mean, not the black belt, Cobb County. That really contributed to his 51.9% win. along with Newton County. So that all being said, and you'll see that turnout usually is affected after first round. 61.44% down to 22.98%. People are not a fan of voting again, but I love it because it's my country. But yeah, you'll see a 10-point victory. You'll see he managed to tie in Stewart County. But in areas like Douglas County, like I said, 56%. This is very rare because Douglas County is a county that aggressively voted for Biden by over 60%. So you could say this county is a solid Republican. Well, interestingly enough, a county that is definitely more conservative, like Cobb County, is going for Pinson by only 53%. Very interesting. So yeah, I guess Barrow was thinking, we don't need to campaign in the Atlanta metro, which is a huge mistake, a big disastrous and way of thinking, because once again, Atlanta is where the center and the hub of the population is. So yeah, of course, you need to go and campaign there, and he may not like it, but that's the way it is. But kudos to him. He managed to win. He probably campaigned over here, but he managed to win Republican counties like Screven and Jenkins. Then there's Taylor, Peach, Twigs. I'm telling you, it's the abortion. Did I say Wilkes? But yeah, those counties went to our friend John Barrow. So yeah, you'll see the size of lead is even pretty smaller than usual for John Barrow, which is interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, Pinson did well in Pierce County, which some say is the most conservative. It's 75% of the popular vote, 1,984 votes to Barrow 679 votes. So interesting enough. There's Barrow's best performance, Clark County, interestingly enough. Not Atlanta, not DeKalb, which is close though. It's actually Clark, which I'm trying to find. Clark County. That's Chatham, Calhoun. I think it's over here. Baldwin. This is weird, but yes, it's indeed Clark County. Let's search it up. Clark. Oh. All right, never mind. I was just thinking, that's Athens. But yeah, this is, of course, a Democrat stronghold. 71%. This is Athens, consolidated city. 71% to Pinson's 29%. 9,000, though, came out and voted for you. Interesting. Total votes. You'll see, of course, in the most populous county is going to be Fulton. There has been 109,729 votes in total. I just find this election very interesting because the most Democrat county, if you are unaware, is actually Clinton. Voting for Biden just like 3 more points than DeKalb. and Fulton. But it's actually Clayton County that's more liberal. And it also went for Pinson, but not like Douglas here. But surprisingly went to Pinson by 51, like a little bit that over a point. But yes, interestingly enough, so that is a Supreme Court race. We're going to go ahead, before ending this video, cover the last couple races, which should be easy. We have Michael P. Boggs running for re-election. He, like I would assume, is conservative. Oh, actually, he's a Democrat. And he won 1 million votes, 100%. But yeah, you won. Good for you. You won a seat, but you're gonna win it anyway. Dude, it's like uncompetitive. No one's running against you. There's no even write-ins. Total register of votes, 1 million of voters. You've won all those voters, and it's 100%. So what's the point of celebrating? So yeah, that's Boggs. John J. Ellington, 100%. Let's see. Nothing really. I think, yeah, he could be a Republican, Democrat. He's appointed by Roy Barnes in the appeals court. So what I think, yeah, he would be most likely conservative. Then there is Nels S. Peterson, 100%. Let's see. Nathan Deal. It depends on when he was appointed, assumed office. Yeah, he was a Repub. This guy was, yeah, the governor before Kemp came along, and he appointed Nels Peterson to the Supreme Court. So, interestingly enough, what do you guys think of our Georgia results? I haven't gone all over that. What surprised you the most? Which result found you the most interesting? Or, to twist my words around, which result did you find the most interesting? Let me know down below in the comments. And as always, I will see you all in the next political episode.